Hello everybody. My name is Jacob Katzoff and I am the proud CEO and co-founder of AppCow. A little bit about me. I'm a serial entrepreneur, some people might say. I've been an entrepreneur for 10 years. I also happen to be a high school dropout. So I think some of the hard work, or maybe the risk, is paying off. This past July, I approached PCS Wireless and they gave me an investment of $45,000 to launch AppCow. Since that time, in the past 7 months, I've been busy. I've been lean, I've been mean. I've recruited a 3-time hackathon winner as my CTO and co-founder. AppCow is now a team of 5, and we've gone from nothing to 150,000 users of our app in this period. What I'm going to get to now is the market that AppCow addresses and the problem that it solves. It's a $3.6 billion market, expected to double by 2020. What is this? It's app developers buying users. There are over 2 million apps in the marketplace. So how do they get found? Whoops. They're lost in the crowd. So that's the dollars. That's what represented that 3.6 billion. And where are they spending this money? They're spending it on the big 3, in the cloud. Now, the problem with this is that since it's all in one place, the cost of buying users is compounding. It's increasing year over year. And what this is doing is that it's pricing out a lot of app developers. They can't afford it anymore. And the ones that can, it's eating into their profits. So we have a huge market. It's growing, but we have a problem. So what's AppCow's solution? What's AppCow going to do to solve this? AppCow creates a new channel, a new market for app developers to advertise on. What's this channel? When you buy your phone. Think about it. Walk outside into the next mobile store you see and say, where are the apps? We bring apps to users at the moment they buy their device. How do we do it? How do you give someone an app when they're buying a phone? We do it with this. This is the card that is given to a customer when they walk into a store, get their phone. The store clerk gives it to them for free. They take the card and they follow the instructions. They install AppCow, which is on the Play Store. They put their code into the app, and what do they get? They're inside the app, and they get 100 AppCow tokens, a $10 value, that they can use to get deals in apps that they want to install. So let's remember what happened here. It's a tremendously explosive industry, billions of dollars. App developers are buying users. They're doing it in the cloud. The cost is going up. What's our solution? Well, let's allow them to engage with customers when they walk into the store. And then what does the customer get? Why would they take this card? They get deals that would otherwise cost them money to buy. So you're in the AppCow app, and you have 100 AppCow tokens. You're scrolling through the app. You got your new phone. What do you want to do when you get your new phone? You want to install apps. So what can you get? Well, you might get a yoga program. $2 value, 20 AppCow tokens. Or perhaps you'll get 100 game points to Garfield. You can buy pizza with it and excel in the game. Or maybe you get cloud storage, because that's what you need. The next question is, why would any store distribute AppCow cards? And here's the answer. We get paid by app developers. Remember, they're advertising in the cloud. Now they're advertising through us. We share that money, an average of $1 a deal that our users get. Garfield pays us. We pay the store that gave out the card. So it's a free card for the store to give away. The customer gets a deal. The app developer gets a user and the ability to give them their virtual currency, which doesn't cost them anything. Remember, it's virtual. And so what we're doing is creating a better solution, a better environment to allow this what's going to be an $8 billion market to flow through. And we also provide the portal that allows the backend provider to track the people giving out their cards, to track the revenue that's coming to them. So what does AppCow have? AppCow has a strong team. They have an explosive marketplace. They have strategic relationships. And right now what we're seeking is a $750,000 seed investment so that we can just scale. We're also looking for hires if anyone in the crowd is interested. So thank you very much. Questions?
Hi, nice job. For every 10 cards you hand out, how many are actually activated?
I'm happy you asked. Today we're converting at 12%.
If you're getting compensated for every app that gets installed, why do you limit it to $10?
There's a value that we put on the card. It's a great question. You know, I started this business lean startup style. So we just put cards out there. It didn't work. So we needed to say, well, of course it doesn't work. We need to provide value. So to validate the value, you have to put a price sticker on it. It costs us 6 cents to print the card, but we say it's $10. If it was unlimited amount of deals, then what can it be worth? Also, what we're doing is we're creating a funnel to answer your question even more closely. App developers are buying users. If the user for the first time, this is what we're creating, apps used to cost money. Now they're free to install. So for the first time since apps have become free, the customer is actually thinking, do I want to spend my tokens on this app or this app? So that's closing the funnel and creating a more valuable user for the app developer that's buying them, because that app is really relevant to that user. Where can you find AppCow? Yes, we're live. You can find it in today. What we're doing, a lot of our distribution, it is at point of sale, but a lot of it's through the actual e-com market. So if you were to order something online, a phone or an accessory, we have partnerships with the companies that sell you the devices. They simply drop it in their box. You open up your box and it's there, and 12% of the cards are getting used. We're today grossing $1.30. No. Anyone else?
How big is your team right now?
Yeah, we're a team of 5. It's me, my co-founder. We have also graphic artist, content manager, and a few consultants.
How many apps are you partnered with right now? How many apps do you have available?
We're partnered with Animoca, subsidy of Outblaze, subsidy of IBM. It's the 30th largest developer, and they provide us over $30 in deals. We have some direct relationships with smaller developers, and we have a few aggregates as well. Today, we're providing over 300 apps that pay us, but between $30 to $50, it's growing of apps that provide virtual currency to our users. I know there's got to be another question in there.
What's the cost per install for the big 3 there?
Oh, well, on Facebook and Google, the average is over $3. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? I mean, do you really want to install an app when you're tweeting or when you get your new phone? It seems so obvious, but anyone want to ask a question on the logo? He's kind of cute, right? All right, thank you, guys.
We'll leave them up there for 5 minutes afterwards, so think of your questions while they're up there.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Byron Druss. I'm Chief Revenue Officer for euraQa. We're a Cherry Hill, New Jersey company near Philly, but in our defense, Mayor Zimmer, we call that Hoboken South. So euraQa is a way to now more easily automate testing of your web and mobile web applications. So this is usually done by using some open source software called Selenium. So just a show of hands, who here is a manager or a leader of a software company or a software group in a larger company? Raise your hands. A leader or manager. And how many people are developers? Okay, so I'll explain that this is something important. When you develop software, you have to make sure you validate everything as you go along. If you don't, bugs escape, and you also have to test these applications not only across the entire application each time that you add something to the software, but you also have to test it against Chrome and Firefox and Internet Explorer times multiple versions, times multiple Windows operating systems and Mac and mobile. You have a lot of combinations. That's really impossible to do if you're doing it manually. So we started using Selenium as tripod. Tripod gave birth to euraQa. Tripod's a 12-year-old company, and euraQa was spun out because we started developing a Selenium framework, testing framework for our customers. And so you have time pressures to get your software to market, and you have to automate all this, but it's a lot of work to use Selenium. So here's what's involved in testing or building an automation framework for your software application. In the first phase, you'll find that you get a programming language and you use Selenium, and you put together a test script library, and you're off and running. You're building your tests. And you have to understand, you have maybe 3, 4, half a dozen developers in your application. The last thing you want to do is start putting developers in test. You want them focusing on your core application. So keep that in mind. Then you have to run the tests. You have to run them against all those browsers and versions and operating systems. You have 10 or 20 combinations of things you have to run frequently, often very fast, every night, every week. So you can use infrastructure that you can get from vendors that provide you with those in the cloud. That's an expense. You also have to worry about scheduling tests that they're run, and you have to worry about integrating them with your other development tools. The next thing that you're going to want to do in the next phase is really have your eye on what's happening in the application. You want to be notified about what's passing and what's failing. You want to get some reports and visibility into this whole software development process. You want to validate what you're building. You also want to tie it into some things that are used to build your software and to capture reports of bugs, so you can actually manage this whole mess. In the third phase, we're finding customers start to put some project controls around it. I mean, anything gets to be large, you start to organize it as a project. And then you start to add some analytics and dashboards, because the results you're getting from all these tests and combinations start to get unruly, and you really have to contain that. So that means you're going to need an army of developers. That means you're going to have systems administrators to take care of that application environment. You're going to have project managers. And all of a sudden, you've got a project that has to get funded. Whether you're a large bank or whether you're a small software company, you really want to focus your energy towards the core application. This is what we do. We make it very easy to author these tests and build them as little building blocks. We include all these parameters, all these conveniences, so that you can very easily, as a non-programmer, as a QA tester, product owner, business analyst, you can put these tests together, and you don't need to hire all these resources. We're an enabling technology for all software developers for web and mobile web, native soon. So eye chart here of everything we've put in the product, a hierarchy of how we build these tests, and once again, this is a visual programming environment where you really don't need to be a programmer to put it together. So a lot of business benefits. You can get probably productivity out of this within 90 days. We put best practices into the product because we've been doing outsourced testing for companies for many years. And we're looking for those projects also. So the rich analytics that we provide back is also good for developers to be more efficient. Okay, so here's our contact information. We have our CEO, Badri Natour here, founder of the company. And there's our contact info. Any questions? Any questions? Somebody here that has been up till 2 o'clock in the morning testing? One question here.
So is this ideal for cloud-based solutions? Is it ideal for their own custom servers? Does it not matter?
It does not matter.
So, do you want to say anything?
Good.
All right, so who here is involved in any type of software development? What companies here have software that are developing a company? You have a question?
Yeah, so what about, one of our challenges is the data we have is needs to be very secure, and creating like mock data.
Yes.
You guys work with companies doing that.
To create mock data or to be able to use that to test the application?
Use it effectively to test the application when the real data tends to have the real problem.
Yeah, that's a very, very good question. This is our third version that we released of this product. And you all know if you're entrepreneurs, each version you'll learn more about the market and your product. This version, we included a way to take tables of data and keywords and automate without developing, just map that together and take data, mock data, real data, whatever that you want, and you can change that data up. You can attach different tables to the same tests, and you'll be able to more easily test. But I don't know if that answers your question or not, but that seems to be a really key convenience that people must have. Yes?
What is your licensing structure? Is it seat-based? Is it processor-based?
Well, we have an instruction capacity model that we're converting now to hours. So you get so many hours a day during the month, and you subscribe to that. And then you pick and choose whatever browsers you want. You have your tests built. They fire off in parallel. You can validate early as often as you want, and you just pay by the hour. If you use a little bit, you pay a little. Good question. Any other questions? I probably answered 6 people's questions before I got up here. I should have never talked to anybody. All right. You have a question?
Yeah, so would you consider yourself like a one-stop shop essentially for outsourcing these type of projects?
Well, for testing of applications or whole product development, we do that. We also do tool-enabled testing. So we can do it for about 2/3 less effort. That's the value you get from this. You really reduce about 2/3 of your effort to test your application. And development usually gets about a 15 to 18% boost in productivity by understanding and validating what they're building. They end up being able to develop much faster. So we do tool-enabled services for companies, yes. Actually, about 80% of our customers have us do the work for them, and then we turn it over after about 2 months, and then they continue on. About 7 weeks, you can automate your application, yes.
Are you working on a lot of proprietary software for companies, like helping them build their own software?
Mostly this is people that are building, it helps during the development of the application and also on the maintenance of the application to validate and confirm that it does work before you put it in production. Because what works in Firefox may not work in Chrome. This is really for web applications, SaaS applications, and for mobile web. You have a question? All right. Thank you very much.
Last up. Ready to go? Welcome up last up.
Oh, they're tall here. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Hi, everyone. A year ago, my partner and I, we had a vision. We wanted to create a new social network. Yeah, I know it sounds pretty pretentious, but I'm French, so don't worry. And so we wanted to create this social network because I have Facebook since 2004, and my friends are not my friends anymore. I mean, they are, but not everyone. And my world is polluted by crap news, and nobody posts anything personal. So our vision was thinking that the future of social networks should be something more segmented and more private. So we created and we launched last September an app called Room, which concept is very basic. You create groups, we call rooms. You put people in there. You can have a room for You can have a room with your friends, your family, with your lovers, with your tennis club, whatever you want. And inside each group, you have your own private social network. And what happened is our vision were pretty spot on because a couple of months after, Facebook launched an app out of nowhere. Very, very similar in the concept, and the name is called Rooms with an S. Um, so long story short, we after 6,543 downloads, we saw very interesting use cases. Teachers were creating rooms with the parents to share activities privately and confidentially about the activities, the news, whatever's going on in the class. So we decided to create a dedicated application for it. That's why I'm here. I'm Damien. I'm here to present Klassroom, which is a mobile communication platform between teacher and parents for preschool to fifth grade. Our vision here is to disrupt the existing communication tools. In many countries, like in France, we use what we call a communication notebook, which is like a real notebook that goes from teacher to the parents. So when you have 30 kids and you need to inform the parents, you just write 30 times in the books and you give it to the kids, give the parents, come back to the teacher. So it's not very efficient. And you have other countries like here, we use emails to inform. It's very heavy, it's not reliable. My daughter goes to here in Hoboken public school. My email gets flooded with like 20 megs, 30 megs of pictures. There is as well like for snow days, they send alert with like phone. I don't receive them. I don't know why, but it's not very reliable. So we decided to create this application to disrupt that and bring more real time to the communication. It's very easy. Teachers create class. Parents can join the class. The teacher can have a private wall like a Facebook, post any news, any info, pictures, album, events, reminders, everything that get pushed directly to the parents. They receive it in real time. They can respond in real time. The parents have very limited contact to the teachers because they get scared to get harassed by the parents. So they can just like notify for an absence, lateness, change in pickup, drop off, special care, making appointments. And we added some social interaction between the parents, so the parents can chat together, instant message. If I can't pick up my daughter, I can contact other parents, can pick up my daughter, and can comment, post, like in all the teachers' posts. Now I'm going on. So we have a business model that's very straightforward. We spoke to a lot of teachers and schools in France and New York, and we came up with a freemium for independent teachers or an enterprise solution for schools. We have a good team. Myself, I'm the founder and CTO, full stack developer, and mobile developer too. My partner is in Paris. He's my friend for 20 years, my teammate from college. We have raised $125,000 from a lot good investors. One is I know it's almost done, but one is had the largest tutoring company in New York. She's in the board of Noodle.com. And another one is investing in Square. So we have a great team. We still want to raise $125,000. So I believe each of you have like an envelope under your seats, and you can make your personal contributions. Thank you for your generosity. I'm Damien with Klassroom. Questions? Yes.
How many schools or teachers do you have on board right now?
So this is a beta application that is we're developing. We have 10 schools in Paris and New York that are willing to adopt the project. Once it's out, it should be out in like a couple months. So we want to use with them for the school end, and we'll start running the selling force for September. Yes.
Talk about your routes to monetization.
Excuse me?
Routes to monetization.
So monetization, we have like a freemium model. where teachers can create one class for free, and then if they want to add more classes, they will have to pay a monthly subscriptions. And we have an enterprise solution for schools because they can have a backend and they can have access and full visibility of all the communications from the teachers and the parents, and they can broadcast in real time as well to all the parents.
What is your biggest need right now? Do you need access to the schools or other things? What's your biggest need?
Our biggest needs is we need access to the schools. So we start with private schools because private schools can put a lot of pressure on public schools in France and here. So we start like Paris and New York, and it's very similar. We have direct access to districts here and in France, but yeah, we need penetration to schools. We have resellers that want to take our product that already sells to thousands of schools, so they want just to get our product, brand it, and upsell to schools and other solutions.
If you need access to charter schools, you can just find me afterwards, and I can connect you to a friend who can help you get to a lot of charter schools across the U.S.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Why does it end with fifth grade? Is it seems useful for, I mean, I know maybe high school is a little too old, but it seems pretty useful even on, ongoing into fifth grade.
No, that's a good question. I mean, you can use it for everything, but there's a very specific reason. It's market penetration. So in order, the biggest barrier as an app is to be installed. It seems like it's the end of the world. It's the same as asking $1 million to someone to just install an app on the phone. So parents want to do everything for their kids, and where they're the most involved is between preschool and fifth grade, really, because then you have only one teacher. So it's easier to penetrate that market because the influence from the teacher to the parents is better, and they can install the app, and the communication is better, but the app is open. I mean, can be used for older. It's made for that. But the real niche we want to tackle is pre-K to fifth grade and extracurricular activities like dance classes and other stuff for kids. Yes.
Do you see yourself developing that further once you penetrate the market at that early age? Do you see yourself developing it for older classes, even for high school?
Yes. I mean, we have competitors that have bigger solutions with like grades integration and calendar and like more stuff. But for the real communication, we want to start there, and then once we're in the schools and we get that market, then it's going to be easier to get the school to adapt other classes. But once you get to sixth grade and more, you have multiple teachers, so they have to adapt it, and then it gets complicated for like a school to force all the teachers to use it, and so it has to. We hope so that we can like evolve to other classes. Hi.
A big enough market if you were to only focus on private schools?
The private schools, it depends on which countries. Like for France, private schools are for bad students, pretty much. And public. What's that?
Did you go to private schools?
No. But private school can do whatever they want. They're not like they can choose any solution they want. When you go to district, you have to talk to CTOs and CIOs because they're the one handling all the privacy and the data. And we don't use any data. The data are not archived on a server. They are just for the schools that want to keep data, so it will be local for them. So it's easier with private schools because it's more flexible.
Are there any features for the students, or do you try to keep the students using this app?
We don't want the students to use this app for now. So we just want the parents. Our previous app, Room, can be used for that originally, and it was too broad. So that's why we now take niche different verticals. So the other app can be used for that. but this one is really specified for the parent because you can choose representative parents, you can add administrations to it, you can different set permissions for everyone to who can send a message, so it's more complex, and the students are out. Especially between pre-K and 5th grade, they're not supposed to be on that. I don't think so. Okay, thank you very much.